Services to put a human face on our nation's gun violence crisis. We connect survivors to build community, offer trauma-informed programs and trainings, and provide information on and referrals to direct services. The Everytown Survivor Network, along with Moms Demand Action and Students Demand Action, is a program of Everytown for gun safety. If you are a survivor and would like to learn more about the network, you can text SURVIVOR to 64433. SURVIVOR to 64433. And you can visit one of our information tables up top for more information. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Carla Reyes-Miller. Carla is a mother of 5 who works full-time for the Camden County Department of Children's Services. By attending classes at night, Carla recently earned her associate's degree in social work at Rowan College of South Jersey, where she graduated with honors. She hopes to retire and devote her time to changing the lives of young people and preventing gun violence, and I am so honored that you are here tonight, Carla. It's so good to see you.
First, I want to say thank you for coming out, taking from your time. I stand here this evening to share a part of my story and to share why it's important that we bring awareness of the effects of gun violence to our communities and to our nation. You see, I am a mother who lost a child to gun violence. 5 days from today, our family will have to relive the painful memories. On June 8, 2011, someone made a senseless decision to take my son's life. I want to share a little bit about Kevin. I called him my special K. Kevin was born in the city of Camden, my 3rd child of 5 children, 4 boys and 1 girl. We raised our children to never allow where you were from to dictate who you will become. Kevin was just an average kid that loved to play football and played for St. Peter's. He went to play for Woodrow Wilson High School in Camden, and he did well in school and graduated from Camden County Technical School in Pennsauken with an achievement award in carpentry on my birthday, June 23rd, class of 2010. After graduating, he chose to work for a family-owned hardware store in Camden known as Carton Hardware. Kevin had a smile that would light up a room and a heart of compassion for others. One afternoon, he called me at work, a little upset and embarrassed because a woman came into the store and asked him for $1. He saw that she was someone who was less fortunate and possibly on drugs. She quickly raised up her blouse in public to show her body for that $1. And stumbling and embarrassed, he gave her $2 so that she would put her blouse down. I could hear the stress in his voice, and all I could do was laugh. On Wednesday evening, June 8th, I had the opportunity to see him and just engage in mother-son conversation. He happened to share that he was going to take a young lady out to dinner for her birthday. Kevin was a little handsome something, my baby. And I responded, "Oh, okay, who is she?" And Kevin went on to say, "No, Mom, she is just a friend. She lives in a messed up household, and I want to show her something better." I couldn't argue with that. That's what we taught our children, never to look down on anyone, but to do the best you can to make a difference in someone's life. I gave him advice, and I reminded him that if he ever got in trouble, to call on the name of Jesus. He went on to say, Mom, I carry him in my heart. He gave me a hug, gave me a kiss, and he said, I love you, Mom. I left the home and headed to church that evening. And hours later, my daughter-in-law arrived to tell me that one of my children was in the hospital, but she wasn't sure who or what had happened. She just said she believed that they got hit riding their bike. Arriving at Our Lady of Lourdes Hospital, I ran into the emergency room, and the staff person there happened to be a childhood friend. And she asked, Carla, what are you doing here? And I told her that my son was brought to this hospital. Her countenance changed. And she went on to say, please tell me that it isn't Kevin Miller. And I told her yes. She said, Carla, I'm so sorry. Kevin was shot, and he is in the back getting x-ray and CAT scans, where they need to determine where the bullet traveled in his body to operate for emergency surgery. Hours later, the surgeon came out to tell me that Kevin didn't make it, that the bullet pierced into the center of his heart, and that there was nothing they can do. I fell to my knees, crying to the Lord, oh, my baby boy. I just spoke to him just hours earlier. How can this happen? What happened? Why? I wanted to see him, and I begged to see him, and the hospital staff refused. But I made it very clear that I was not leaving until I got to see my baby boy. The detectives assigned from the homicide unit allowed my children, his father, and I to see Kevin. My special K. I will never forget the teardrop that was on the corner of his right eye. As I wiped his tear, I told him how much I loved him and that I was so sorry this happened to him. The young lady's ex-boyfriend made a senseless decision to take Kevin's life, shooting him with one bullet to his heart, even while his arms was raised up in surrender position. Kevin was only 19. I can't even begin to share how this loss has changed our lives and our family dynamics. But I can relate to the breathtaking pain that many families are facing today who have lost their loved ones due to gun violence. Today, I am Kevin's voice. We must stand in unity to make a difference in our communities and in our nation. We must stand for stricter gun laws and intense background checks, searching for patterns of emotional behavior, allowing juvenile records to be disclosed for any individual who applies for a gun. You see, the person who took my son's life had a juvenile record that listed anger, aggression, and assault. When I look back at the painful memories and continue to relive those moments during family events, and he's not here. His birthday, Thanksgiving being one of his favorite holidays, Christmas, and now the anniversary. I will always lean on the Lord, who has been my refuge and my strength and my very present help in times of trouble. You see, it was an evil act that took Kevin's life, but I stand on God's promises that carries me through it all. Today, we are every town. Moms demand and students demand to be the voice of those who can't share their story because their lives were cut short due to gun violence. We are standing in unity to be heard, demanding gun sense in America.
Everyone's standing up and clapping. But how could you give that speech without ripping part of your
Thank you, Carla.
part of your heart out? Oh my.
Veterans are another group of people who are disproportionately impacted by gun violence.
Yes.
An average of 4,500 veterans kill themselves with a gun every year.
Oh.
That's about 12 per day. The rate of firearm suicide among veterans has increased about 31% since 2005. We know that extreme risk protection laws reduce the incidence of firearm suicide in the states that have these laws in place. When a person is in crisis and considering harming themselves or others, family and friends are often the first people to